Hey folks, welcome to the Leeds View podcast for the second podcast of the week. Do these twice a week along with daily Leeds United news, available on YouTube as well as across all of the audio platforms and part of the Sports Social Podcasting Network. We are sponsored by OK Jersey. You can get 8% off any purchases there, World Cup shorts for World Cup summer, using the code TView in your checkout basket. Check out the links for that down below. I'm joined by Paul and Gerry to have a little bit of a look ahead to the game against Tottenham Hotspur this weekend, to all the games that are taking place this weekend, and what hopefully will become the weekend where Leeds United guarantee themselves another season in the Premier League. It's all done bar a single point at this point, so fingers crossed we can get it done. And we're also going to cover a bit of the news that's been floating around over the course of the week, get the lads' opinions on it as well. If you want to support the channel, the easiest and best way to do that is subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. So if you're watching this every single day and you're not subscribed, you can just press that little button. It's completely free and does us a huge amount of favors. Does us all the favors in the world. Right, we'll check in with the lads to see how they're getting on. Paul, how are you doing, mate?
I'm good. I'm very, very good. Thank you. Slightly tired after going to London with work yesterday. Pitching for a job, which was really, really cool. I enjoyed that, working with the team that we've got down in London. So that was a lot of fun. And I mentioned it just before we came online, doing a little bit of charity work through work, I should say. We're part of we do helping a sort of like an outreach program thing, cooking food and stuff, and talking to these people. And it was very, very humbling experience. And we often get caught in our own problems and our own sort of worries and things and stuff. And sometimes it's good to put your head above the parapet and just have a bit of a look out there and see what some people are really, really going through. And it just helps. But a very, very, very humbling experience, and met some lovely, lovely people. So yeah, I'm in a good mood. If somewhat tired, I am in a very, very good mood.
Good. Well, it's Friday. Congratulations, you've survived another week and you've got to the weekend. So Leeds aren't playing till Monday, so they can't ruin it for you just yet. Gerry, how are you doing, mate?
Not bad, isn't it? The week's just gone so quick, isn't it? Just can't get over that. Yeah, I'm fine. Ready for the weekend football. It's a pivotal weekend. Last weekend was great. It seems a long time ago since we played. Prince William isn't a football fan. He's a fake. I just want to put that out there.
I woke up with a text from you saying you can stop faking that he's a football fan.
Yeah, I got the same text. I got the same text.
It's the Danny Dyer effect. Jesus, they picked a club from 4 or 5. Let's get a neutral club from, and let's man of the people pay your fucking taxes. But anyway, that off my chest. Disney's pays taxes.
For legal reasons, I would just like to point out that these are not the view of the Leeds View. These are the view of Gerry McNamee.
But I'm not wrong. Anyway, as we were saying, I'd be very annoyed if I was a West Ham fan the way of Villa, their Jekyll and Hyde performance this week. But then I watched Forest on Monday. Wow, what a game! What a blood curdling game! I've never seen so much blood on one. You see that? I see Gibbs White last night. Wow, that was a serious injury.
I saw his skull.
Yeah,
did you see that? In half,
you could see it where the camera shot. Ah, terrible. I was watching the game, and the young lads. Hopefully, he's okay. I think not there, but yeah, two nasty challenges. But oh no, we're sitting here feeling relaxed now, and it's all good. And I'm packing my bags to go to Cork tomorrow. Corky buys. Yeah, Cork City for 2 days. See my lad in a play with Tommy Tiernan. If you're Irish, you'll know who Tommy Tiernan is. He was the dad in Derry Girls, if you want a reference. We're over here. Brilliant crack. So I'm looking forward to that, to get back to the old country and have a pint of black stuff at lunch tomorrow and all that. So, all good. Weekend's been good.
If you're going to Cork, are you having a pint of Guinness or are you having a pint of Beamish?
Yes, both. I'll try both because, you have to... As a consumer, you have to try everything. I won't be having cocktails. Yeah, my other half will have a half Guinness with blackcurrant in it, and I'm just ashamed. But I know what they're like.
I just have my Guinness when I go to the football. It's kind of a ritual for me now. Pint of Guinness before I go into the ground. It's just nice. It's just lovely
stuff. Yeah,
the blackcurrant element to Guinness is a beginner's sample of Guinness. That's what it's known as over here. Yeah.
And off to that there London on Monday. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, off to see
fancy stadium. Geez, you won't know yourself. You've been so much comfort.
It's just like a spaceship landed in the roughest part of London, really, isn't it? I often say. But I've got parking at the church again, another church. So yeah, I'm doing my bit for religion.
Do you get a stamp when you go to all these churches? Do you get a free mass at the end of it?
I think I got to pick the right one. I could turn to dust if they knew my real thoughts about that. Yeah, I think to find parking around Tottenham is difficult. We found one 15 minutes away, which is really good. So driving into London on a midweek or week afternoon, it's going to be awkward, but hopefully a nice drive back, which is always nice. And stop at Greg's on the way and have bad stuff. I always do it, and that can't help myself. Yeah, thank God the season's near over and get healthy again.
God, yeah.
I'm the opposite. I'm waiting for the season. Yeah, well, that's exactly the same. I'm waiting for the season over to start going back to the gym. I've been saying I'll be going back for next week for the last 3 months, but like next week. There's always next week. There's always next
I
week.
did run around for 90 minutes last night playing at the back, like one of those Italian guys. Those they used to play in the 70s. Those. Well, that's how I saw myself anyway. But I probably look like the age I am lumbering around. But I got through it, and my feet hurt today, so I should know better. Us professionals, we're never fully fit. Yeah.
No, the best are never fully fit and play through it. That's what you got to do. Yeah,
so that's my mad word. Oh yeah, my other half got bit by a mouse the other day.
What?
Yeah. There was a mouse in the kitchen. I know that there was a mouse in the kitchen which the cat brought in, and she can pick him up. I just hate them. And it was a little field mouse, and woke up. I said it'll be fine. Woke up next morning, put the news on, and you hear that story about that cruise ship, and I thought, oh my God.
Jesus.
Yeah, she's all right. I'm not sure about the mouse.
Not a rat anyway.
Did you see the AI video? No, it wasn't the AI video. It was the Ratatouille video. I think it was doing the rounds of the food being prepared on that shit. It's the rat running round the pan, throwing in ingredients as it's going round.
No, that's my nightmare. Is them fellas with long tails? Don't like them.
Yeah, I've met a few big rats in the shed when I was kids. Well, speaking of rats, there was we had a few of them in our shed when we were kids. The smell. Yeah. Oh Jesus, the smell.
A ton of rodents. Bruno Fernandes has just been named Football Writers Player of the Year. How the hell? How's that happened?
Great segue.
And another rat of another type. Second, Declan Rice. Yeah. What's gone wrong?
No Anton Stach, despite the fact that he's outperformed Declan Rice this season, though. No.
We don't want anybody to know about him.
Although Caldalo has won Save of the Month for.
Is that the only one we got of all the awards we're nominated?
I know.
They were all at the darts last night. I was after we were watching them, Darlow and Alex Cairns and Sam Byron and a couple. I think Longstaff. They were all there. So in Leeds. So yeah, having a jolly time, which was good. Good deserved.
Good group of lads.
Yeah, good bunch of boys. Daniel Farke didn't make the press conference today. He was unwell. I wonder was he somewhere in the back of the darts having a few points, maybe a bit under the weather this morning. Eddie Raymer took the press conference. Eddie Raymer is a fantastic person to interview. Lovely detailed answers. Very, very good. Yeah, very competent man. Said that himself and Daniel Farke do have challenging conversations and heated debates around the squad. That Daniel Farke is very keen to take on as much feedback as he can before he makes his decisions, which I thought that was an interesting. The two lads screaming at each other in German in a room somewhere in Yorkshire.
Or it could be like Brian Clough, where he used to say, we discuss it for 20 minutes and agree that I'm right. That's what he used to say. Could be that. So
stops by him. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. We've got a bit of team news for the game on Monday night. Gabby Goodmunson will be out for another week, and then they're going to take it day by day to make sure he's okay for the following game. Now, Okafor's calf has been done, so he will miss the next 2 matches. So this comes after he got it, as Eddie Raymer described it, he got a contusion, big kick to the back of his calf in the FA Cup game, and then he got kicked again in the calf against Burnley. So he's now pulled the calf, so he's out for the next 2 games, and they're hoping to get him back in time for the final game of the season, which is disappointing because obviously the week started with Fabrizio Romano winding everybody up, thinking that Noah was twerking for a move away from the club. Turns out not the case. Very, very happy at Leeds, very content at the club right now. So and very much Paul very positive about his manager, saying he's the one coach that he's had in his career that's trusted him and given him more freedom to play the way he wants to play. And I think we've all seen the benefits of that. I think he's been fantastic second half of the season. And I know you're a big fan.
I'm a big fan. It's just he hasn't played a lot of football for about 2 or 3 seasons. This season has been the season where he's really, really played a lot of football, and it's come to the fore how good he is and how good he has been. just purely by the goals that he scored. And I keep saying this, and I will maintain it totally. In fact, I might get it tattooed on myself. Had he not been injured for that month, I think we'd be more than safe now. I think we'd be close. We'd be close to probably 50 points just because of what he brings to the table. But with that being said, with him being injured, step up Dan James, step up Willie Gnonto.
Yeah,
we've got players in reserve that are ready to go, that are very, very ready to go. It's a shame. It is a real shame, because he is a difference maker. He is somebody that likes to take a player on. He's somebody that likes to run out wide. He's somebody that can get you off of your seat, that can make a change, that's got an eye for a goal, all of that good stuff. But we've got the players in reserve that can now step up and take a bit of a chance. I've been really, really enthused with what I've seen from Willie Gnonto when he's come on.
Yeah,
so hopefully that can continue, and we might see a bit of Dan James as well. I listened to him on the official Leeds United podcast. Really, really interesting to listen to what Dan James had to say, and just the way that he thinks, and the way that talking about you want that ball over the top, because that's for me, that's the killer ball for the type of position that I play. But then also highlighting that it's not just about your first movement, it's your second and third movement that you make to generate the space. So you think that these players have just got their head in the clouds a little bit playing football, but they are very, very switched on in terms of what they do. So it's it's disappointing that Okafor's not going to be there, but in the same vein, it's going to be good to see what we can do.
Yeah, you see it an awful lot with wingers. Well, actually, a lot of people don't actually watch it, but you'll see, if let's say a fullback has the ball, you'll see a winger make a run towards the fullback, and that tends to pull their fullback that's marking them with them, and then turn them, and then that creates the space for the ball behind. So you see an awful lot of that. And Dan James is a very clever footballer. So yeah, and he's still got plenty of time on his contract at Leeds. So fingers crossed next season he's a better year. Gerry, Okafor, Paul just pointed it out there, difference maker. And if you look at it, Leeds wanted a difference maker in the summer. They tried to get Igor Pageau for in and around £40 million. At that point, it was going to be a record transfer for the club. He's finally got going in Marseille, but he got 11 G&A. He got 6 goals and 5 assists. Now, Okafor, for half of that price, has managed to get 8 goals and 2 assists. He got 10 G&A. So we've done all right in terms of getting value for money for Noah Okafor this season.
Yeah, I mean, when he came in at first, we could see flashes of what he could do. Saw the away game at Wolves, and but then he disappeared from a game, and he wasn't fully fit. And as Paul says, he's hardly played in the last couple of years. So getting to that fitness, and we know he gets to about an hour, 70 minutes, and that's his game done. But what he's done, and what a lot of players have done, is what you need this time, the players to step up and hit a bit of form. And his goals in the last few weeks have got us to safety, basically. Was it 6-7 goals he's got? Yeah. And the assists as well, and just his general play. I noticed he did have ice on the back of his calf, so his season may be done, of course, but I think he's stepped up. And something you picked up, Gerry, I noticed on Twitter, was he got interviewed in the middle of the game last week. What is going on there?
It drove me.
I've never seen
what
it.
are we doing?
Who
wants to see that?
What's he going to say? The manager took me off.
He was genuinely going for a pee, and he got stopped.
Yeah. And they just grabbed him. What are you doing?
Yeah. I know they've got access, but I've not seen that this season. And I know managers are allowed to be interviewed at halftime. I've not seen much of it. But anyway, that on the side. So he's done well. Dan James is just stop-start season. It's not really happening. He's always unlucky, Dan James. And Bielsa wanted him as a centre forward. That time where the transfer fell down, Man United, he had up and down, and then he went to Fulham on loan, and we looked like we got rid. So what you want, we saw when in the championship, when you put a ball in front of him, he can finish as well, the pace. So it'll be good to see him have a good finish to the season and step up. And you say Willie's not let us down this year in his cameos, but you'd like to see him have a good game and get a goal and just star, just take some of the limelight. And that's going forward. We'll have these players coming through, but next season we need to have the step up and have a stronger squad to supplement injuries and everything else. We need to back up and quality back up. But yeah, they're not bad. These guys are around to go, and a good squad, and they seem happy. And Okafor's done his job and paid. What should we pay him? 18 million, was it?
18 million, yeah.
I mean, that's him and Stack. I mean, Goodmanson. And you look at. I think that the top clubs don't want to buy. If they're not spending 40, 50 million, they don't think. And, the recruitment, we were all annoyed with the recruitment, was probably that we didn't get the rest of it over the line. But you look at the players. I mean, Perry had a bit of a rough time, and I think there's more to come from him, hopefully. The rest of them, they've really stepped up, and their values have gone up, and the goals they've scored. How many goals? Somebody said, is it 30 goals? Or 36?
The new players have scored 36 goals this season.
That's incredible. You look at you look at Liverpool's and Newcastle and how much, their players, what's their total? And that's incredible. It's incredible. So
an important way to look at that, really, when you think about it, 40 million for Pajau, 40 million for potentially for Muniz from Fulham.
Probably more.
Yeah.
For probably more, maybe nearly 50 million for Strand Larsen. And when you look at it, we've gotten Anton Stack and Noah Okafor for less.
Yeah. Rodrigo Muniz has managed to start 7 games in the Premier League this season. He's got 1 goal.
Yeah. He's been anonymous.
18 in total, but started 7. So that was going to be your 2 big signings were Rodrigo 40 million and Pajau 40 million. That's 80 of your 100 million, and you would have got that. So it's not. And I know people we're going to the transfer window, and it's going to happen again. I've already seen comments around. We'll get to Hidemasa Marita in a few minutes, but comments around that have gone, well, Leeds aren't going to do well if they're bringing in freebies. Well, Metchit and DCL have got 20 G&A between them this season. They cost us nothing. And I go back to what Jose Mourinho said before a Champions League final. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, where he said, you're going to start seeing professional footballers deliberately winding their contracts down, becoming free agents so they can pick their next move. And they get the bonuses, they get the payouts, they get the signing on fees, they get it all. The clubs get nothing from it. So you're starting to see that now. There's a lot of free agents this summer who are of a very high caliber. Harry Wilson's a prime example of that. Tony Garrigo was talking about him, the goal during the week, and a player that Leeds would love to get. So you're looking at them and going, if you're smart, you can get a couple of players in that aren't going to cost you anything. Keep that big chunk of money. If you do have to go and stretch it and to bring in your more creative player, number 10, if we can get this summer. So the cost means genuinely for me, the market's inflated. Cost doesn't exactly guarantee a success with a player. So I'm happy to just see what comes in the summer. I think the recruitment team have got a little bit of credit in the bank after what we've seen this season. I still have issues with January, by the way. I still would like it not. We're going to get one of these Januaries.
Lucky January.
We could have got caught. Yeah, the Sunderland game. I was thinking we got caught here.
Got away with it.
So
got away with
it.
We
were entitled. Yeah, you look back, it was good.
Yeah, we could say I can say they got away with it, but somebody else will say no, they just planned it very well. They knew what they were doing, as they did last January. But we're just a bit tight in certain areas. So hopefully get sorted during this summer. We'll see how it goes. Spurs, back to the match. Spurs are without a ton of players coming into the game, and although there has been an upturn in their fortune, we do need to talk about the performance against Aston Villa last week, because everyone thought Spurs looked great. We looked at Aston Villa, who my brother's a Villa fan. I spoke to him about it. One of the worst performances they've ever put in. Any of them, they were booed off the pitch. But they're missing Solanke, Xavi Simons, Vicario. James Maddison may be involved. He's been on the bench for the last couple of games, but he might be involved. Ben always linked with Leeds United. Davis, Wilson Odebear, Mohamed Kudus, Dejan Kulishevsky, and Christian Romero are all out of the game for Spurs, but they'll still go into it with a half-decent side. But yeah, they've got out of relegation. There's a lot of West Ham fans are hoping for miracles this weekend. They're hoping that we beat Spurs and that they can beat Arsenal. I've never wanted Mikel Arteta to win a game more in my life. I never will again. But I'll let him have this one. But important weekend. It's hard to know, Paul, what version of or what level Spurs are even at this moment in time, given what they played against with Aston Villa and then seeing what Villa did to Forest. Agreed.
There is. You could look at their recent form and say there has been a slight uptick in performances in what they've done. So last 3 they've picked up 7 points. It is going to be interesting, because for me, I do think to myself, well, as Villa were pitiful, and the squad that they put out was pitiful at the same time as well. And listen, it's within the rules. Unai Emery is entitled to do whatever he wants to do. He's gotten to his 5th or 4th European Cup final now. So at the end of the day, nobody cares. But we're saying
he could win the Europa League with the third side with Villa in the name. Villarreal, Sevilla, Aston Villa. There's a.
You've been speaking to Andrew Dalton?
No, I read it.
All right, okay. But with that being said,
like
it's a very good stat. Are they ready for a Leeds United side that is unbeaten in 6? Are they ready for a Leeds United side that is playing with a little bit more freedom? Are they ready for potentially a Leeds United side that could be not on the beach but playing with a huge amount of freedom and a huge amount of swagger because Arsenal hopefully win against West Ham at the weekend? So we can just go out and express ourselves. Do you know what I mean? So I am very, very conscious of false dawns, and I am very, very conscious of the fact of, look, we went and when we
Don't
were
get pessimistic on us now, Paul.
No, I'm not trying to, but I am very conscious of the fact of when we got relegated, there was a false dawn against Liverpool when Somerville scored, and it was just absolutely crazy. And it's we're going to stay. It might not be the case. There is a reason that Tottenham are where they are, and if you would permit me,
do you want the league table?
I have a thing that I do. Yeah, you can put the table up if you want to. I have a thing that I like to talk about when I do my preview videos, which is the goal distribution, which gives a good indication of when teams are at their best and when teams aren't at their best. Tottenham have conceded 33 goals between 30 and 45 and 75 and 90 minutes. So they tend to finish halves very, very weakly. And this is what I mean when I talk about the false dawn kind of things. There's a reason why they are where they are. There's a reason why they're potentially haven't been performing to the way that they're performing as well. And the other thing that I'm annoyed about with Tottenham is they've decided to stick Archie Gray on the bench and not realise what a superstar player is and that you should build a team around him. So for the other side of stuff, I'm annoyed about that as well. So
De Zerbi does think he's going to be a Spurs captain long term.
Don't care. De Zerbi played Mason Greenwood. Don't care. What De Zerbi thinks.
Also that.
It's just, is it a bit of a false dawn or is it going to be one of those weird games? I can't see Tottenham blowing us away. Genuinely, I can't see Tottenham blowing us away just because of the way that they've played themselves. So at home, Tottenham are 19th in the table. They've only won 2 games at home all season and they've lost 10. So it's important to think about these things. And I know we talk, and this is that conversation that you have about when you look at stuff, things being reactionary to short moments or looking at the season as a whole and things panning out how you think they should pan out. And like you take the game against Burnley, for example, we all thought some people thought reactionary sacking Scott Parker would make a huge difference. No. Look at the whole season.
I felt the opposite.
Look at the whole season and look at where they are and what they're doing. And that should give you a bit of a better feeling to the way that things are. And again, that's
just worry.
I could be completely wrong.
We just worry.
We always do.
We do. Always worry. I never won't worry. I'm getting ahead of myself here now. There we go. There's the league table and what's coming this weekend. So there we go. It is. It's an interesting one. And Gerry, where do you sit on this? Because again, I did think when De Zerbi got the job, we were doing our predictions. I thought he's got enough to get them 2 or 3 wins. Just the way he is. And he's got them 2 already in the draw. He's only lost the 1 game since he's come in. But again, as Paul said, is it a false dawn? Is it a false metric to look at that game against Aston Villa and go, oh, well, look how good they were against Villa and they're in the European final? Or is it a case of going, well, that game against Villa really didn't matter?
I think he got some players going. I mean, Conor Gallagher, he scored his first goal and he said he's loving playing and get like that going. I think we win this game slight favourites or more than slight favourites because we're on form, and I think we can. In Villa, they kind of played worse opposition. I mean, they've played Wolves, who were bottom of the league, and scraped a late winner against them, and up against a Villa team who were preparing for minds or elsewhere. So I think we go down there and win. Part of me hopes West Ham get a draw to scupper Arsenal. That would be funny.
So do I.
Because if West Ham get a draw, they're still miles behind us in goal difference. It's as good as us staying up, if not mathematically. So that's my hope. And even if they beat Arsenal, probably funny because I still think we'll beat Spurs and have enough. But my head tells me that Arsenal will win because after the week they've had, City blowing against Everton, them getting to the Champions League final, all this, and this is a chance to wrap up the title more or less. I see us getting to that game safe. And I think we owe Tottenham one because the last time we were down there, Harry Kane smashed Melia into the nets, 1950s style, and not even a check on it. We were a bit robbed, and the relegated us a couple of years ago as well. So it'd be nice to go down there and put one over those lovely Cockney lads. Tottenham fans. They've got a sense of entitlement. Yeah, European League. Yeah, good luck to that to be in the Champions. So I think the whole country, other than Spurs fans, want Tottenham relegated. Anybody I speak to, they just say, "I hope you beat them. I hope you beat them." And I think that's it. But I think we'll have enough. I think we're better team, playing better, and there, as you say, a lot of players missing, and they're scrambling around, and this will be a tougher game for them. And the pressure is on them. And I don't think players will be looking at where we finish. I mean, we're 14th. I mean, don't forget Palace as well. Palace's game in hands against Man City. We're well capable of going a couple of places up, and I'm sure that helps the bonus system and helps the club as well.
3 million a position.
Yeah, and I don't think Farke will be taking the foot off the pedal at all. I think he wants to get up the table and prove a point, which he's entitled to do. And I think Leeds fans, I don't want to see us putting our feet. I want to see us go out and win these last 3 games and shoot up the table and be in our rightful place. Because I think with the chances we've not put away and the points we've dropped, I think we should be on close to 50 points. But there, I'm glad we're just above 18th, and that's good enough for me at the time. But there's a lot of things to be optimistic about there, and I'm looking forward to going down to the spaceship.
Farke's going for Bielsa's record, isn't he? Because it was 51 the first season when Bielsa came up. If we win, get 9 points.
Bielsa went on a run towards the end of the season, very similar to what Leeds are on right now. And then when they were confirmed, they won the next set of games. So he could very easily go and win the next 3 because the pressure's off.
Yeah.
It is. I think it's the same week we beat Tottenham at Elland Road 3-1. Remember in those days we used to watch them on the telly, and we were just outrageously good in those games. Whenever the pass, it was just brilliant. So
Patrick Bamford without a crowd in a stadium was like prime Ronaldo.
He was
with a crowd. Less
He's playing non-league now, isn't he? Or the lower leagues, whatever. What division's that? Whatever that division is.
I think they call it the championship or something like that.
Yeah, that's it.
It's called the boot winner. But all right, so that's pretty much it. De Zerbi had described Leeds United as one of the best sides in the league right now, and Leeds unbeaten in 6. Second time this season, Leeds have gone 6 games unbeaten, which shows a bit of consistency, as Adam Pope put it. And he said they will respect us going into that game. I said no Daniel Farke today, but Eddie Raymer did say that we want as many points as we can possibly get this season, and he knows that they will be dangerous given the position that they're in the last couple of weeks. This is the last 5 games for both sides, so you can see it there. Leeds on a really strong run. I mean, you look at those results, and we wanted 7 from the 3 games against Bournemouth, Wolves, and Burnley. But you throw Manchester United into that mix as well, and the Brentford game doesn't look so bad now either. So, hell of a run that we're on against some really good sides. And you look at what Spurs have done. Again, probably taking out the Spurs. Get the Villa game. You've got a win against Wolves, the draw against Brighton, lost to Sunderland, who've just given up on the Premier League apparently already this year. And then they obviously lost to Nottingham Forest. You've got Newcastle this weekend as well. And if they were to beat Newcastle and we were to beat Spurs, we would go ahead of Newcastle on points as well. So it is an interesting weekend. Any fear, Paul?
No. Short answer, no. I haven't got any fear. I haven't had any. Genuinely. I'm going to let you all into a little secret.
Oh.
I was convinced that we would stay up the night we beat Chelsea at Elland Road 3-1.
Yeah.
That victory made me think, yeah, we're staying up. We are staying up. Did I wobble a little bit as we circled on to where we are now? Of course I did. However, I felt very, very confident for a long period of time. I don't fear any team, and neither should the guys. They shouldn't fear anybody. They just shouldn't. The only team that has, if you want to say outclassed us, I'm not talking about bad performances from us. I mean, outclassed us is Arsenal. That's the only team that have outclassed us this season. Bad performances in there, yes. So you look at Burnley the first time around. You look at Nottingham Forest, for example. Those types of performances. Brighton as well. You look at that. We played poorly in those games. It wasn't so much the fact that the other team was just way better than us. It's we played poorly in those games, and we were more to blame for that. Whereas being outclassed and looking like we don't belong for a certain period of time, that's only really happened against Arsenal, as far as I'm concerned, this season.
I did think Bournemouth played us off the park. However, we still got a result, and that's ultimately all that mattered at that point in the league. But they're very good side.
Wrestled it back in the second period, though, I will say.
Yeah. I will. Second half, what are you doing with periods? You can't. We're not this. Look, this is the Americanization of football. I'm joking. Before someone gets upset at me. Yeah. It's we're in good form. There should be a little bit of pressure off their shoulders, and they should play with it with a little bit of freedom. Let's talk about Elland Road redevelopment. There's Gerry McNamee's new home next year. By the looks of things, that's the for those listening, the construction of what will be the brand new looking Bremner Suite behind the Cop for the year, while the West Stand is getting its facelift. It's got a ton of scaffolding around it right now at the moment as well. We've already seen the markings on the ground, which go all the way back right to this side of Fullerton Park, the car park there, former training field. That's right there. So it's gonna be a monstrous stand. It's gonna be really imposing. You looking forward to your new home, Gerry?
Yeah, I'm going to miss the old West Stand. I do like the nooks and crannies of it, but yeah, it's got to go and it's got to move on. When we were in the Bremner Suite last Friday night, Stuart Dodson came in and he did give a little spiel, and they had a lot of graphics around the suite, and it looked really good. He said we'll have the same seats next year, and someone said, "What about the season after?" He says, "We'll have to see about that because we'll probably be going over the top." And then third season, it'll be interesting to see what they'll be charged. Because the Bremner Suite's it's a sort of problem child, really. We're not corporate, but we are, and we get free stuff, and it's a great place. I really like it because it's
Angus's problem child. This is what did they call it? Like, this is like commercial plus on an airline, isn't it? Like, it's a little bit above, but not quite all the way.
Yeah, and in fairness to them, there's a couple of elderly people, which we know, Paul, and we've seen there. You know, Barry and Lynn and Steve. Lynn's recovering. I spoke to her yesterday. Yeah, Lynn's going well. But Barry didn't go now. He went to the rugby league last week. That man has got some life.
Well, for him.
But anyway, I think the club are talking to them because there's a bit of a walk where we have to walk around to the seats, and they're working with them to make sure accommodate, which is good. And I'm glad to see they're thinking of the elderly supporters, although Barry, I think, is as fit as any of us, but that's another story. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see. It's so different after being so used to the way we go. You nearly sleepwalk in there, and you know exactly where you're going, the same people. But it's a great place, and the people in there, the staff and everything, absolutely fantastic. Like a little family. And I think you mentioned it, but we met that guy from America, the Belfast guy from America, and there was some lad who travelled over from Boston, and you know, and it's
phoning his son his son, who was a Liverpool fan before the game. He FaceTimed his son. That was funny because we were all swearing at some kid that we'd never met before on the phone.
Yeah, we give rude gestures, but you know, it goes with the terror. I'm not sure they'd get that, the Americans, but anyway, it's always a good mix in there. So it's great to see it's actually happening. And it's not a banquet and suite, or it's not a facade or cladding put up by Mr. Bates or whatever. And we're 56,000. It'll land all right. The atmosphere it'll be there, and imagine 56,000. That's great that people are going to be able to get season tickets and get in, and hope they don't lean too much on expensive corporate stuff. Although we did a survey, I don't know if you remember this, a couple of years ago, and the survey to the fans was asking questions. What will you pay? Would you pay £5,000 a year, £10,000 a year? And I thought, no,
zero.
Pay the lowest, because it's Yorkshire people, and the rest of us, we're Leeds fans. We're not going to pay megabucks. So whatever, we'll be there. We'll still be there, and we'll be pushing
I'm
Europe.
one of the ones to get a season ticket. I've been waiting
I'm
for
sure you will.
ages. I'm
sure you
desperately
will.
want to get one.
I'm further down the list. I won't be getting one this time around.
Yeah, I will get you in. Yeah,
I'll get it.
yeah.
Get it next year. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
more
all,
games
it's
this
all,
year than I've ever gotten to. So I'm very happy with my lot this year,
Same.
and nearly got to double figures between home and away games this season. So I'm very happy with my lot. So yeah, sorry, Jerry, I cut you off there.
Yeah, no, I can't remember what I was going to say now. It was probably not an interest. Yeah, I'm looking forward to progressing, and yeah, big nights ahead. Maybe hopefully we establish ourselves in the division. That's the main thing, and work our way up Europe in a couple of years. The dream tie in the Europa League against Dundalk, and we push on to these big games. Yeah.
Well, I think the thing now, and again, I think it's something that the fans might need to be sort of slightly patient with, if you like, is that we're on that building phase, not only off the pitch with the stadium, but with the team that we've got as well. So what we have to be mindful of is at this moment in time, we're bottom third of the Premier League, if you like, now with the players that we've got. We need some slight upgrades to then take us up to the next level. And then from that, we'll turn into probably doing something similar to what Brighton have done or what Brentford have done in terms of getting younger players in, build the prices up, sell them on. We start to then reinvest that into the team, and then we move up another level. So there's going to be a little bit of that doing. So we just need to be patient and just enjoy the ride while it continues, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we're not far off. We're not far off that.
It's got so congested in that middle block now. That middle block has got bigger this season. So why not?
We're as good as Everton. We're as good as Newcastle at the moment. Brentford, we can give them a game. Yeah, all these teams. So that's the clump we're in. We're closer to that.
We haven't looked poor against any of those sides when we played, over 2 games. So why not? Okay, a couple of other bits and pieces to get out of the way. Player of the Year votes are open for Leeds, and moment of the season as well. I know who I voted for. Paul, have you done your vote for Player of the Year yet? Or who will you vote for if you vote for Player of the Year? There's not a pause in the audio. Paul is thinking. Right?
Sorry, no, I am thinking. Sorry,
we don't have thinking.
Difficult. You make a guess. You make a guess for so
I'm trying
many.
to make a case. I'm trying to. No, it has to be. Well, for me, it has to be Ampadu. He's been the engine for the entire season. So that would be. I was thinking Biol for a short while as well, and Calvert-Lewin came in as a thought at the same time because of the goals that he scored and the work he does off the ball. And again, it's one of those things. When you're at a game, I encourage you, watch your player for 10 minutes if you think that he's really,
his movement is very good.
His movement is
constantly showing.
But I haven't done it yet, but I am going to do it, and I'm 90% certain it'll be Ampadu that I go for, just because of his leadership, his quality on the pitch, his calmness, just everything. Everything about him, and there was a lot of, can he make it at this level? He's been relegated, such and such, and is he going to be able to do it at this level? And he's just been consistently brilliant all season, in my opinion.
He's had a couple of games where he's been within himself, but I think given the volume of games he's played, the amount of minutes he played, he's probably entitled to a couple of wobbles. But I think overall the season he's been very, very solid. Jerry, what about you?
Yeah, well, Ampadu gets it because a couple of times the last few weeks he had cursory smashed into Hannibal and he smashed into Tyler Adams.
I'm looking for him.
He gets it. Yeah, you're right. If it depends what time of the season you ask, because I think there's players at little dips and players who've stepped up, and the dips weren't much. So I've narrowed it down to about 7. I think I think you're right. Ampadu, Goodmanson. Goodmanson's been stepping in.
I voted for Gabby.
There was times that the ball was getting behind him, but I think that was more when we tightened up with the 5 at the back or the 3. I think that, and he's exceptional for a player who's come from nowhere, or not heard, but for a small value in the current market. I think Pascal has been brilliant at times this year. I think the back 3 suits, and Biol is an assassin, silent assassin. Joe Rodon, he was a bit off it when he came back in, but always consistent. Darlow stepped up, a few brilliant saves. Stack. I mean, I was criticised. I remember one particular game. I said, I think it was the Burnley game. I said he's pulled out of that tackle, and I was a bit critical of him. But Jesus, that guy stepped up and looked class. And Calvert-Lewin, that game against Sheffield Wednesday at the beginning of the season, you think, whoa,
a long way.
And he just the next game he came in, didn't faze him. He's confident, and he on and off the pitch, he speaks so well off the pitch as well. I think the cover And yeah, right throughout the team. Okafor in the last few weeks, you would say.
Yeah.
So
Just
I think
to
it's
add into the DCL bit. Sorry, Gerry. Just to add into the DCL bit. When he got substituted against Burnley, it was really interesting to see the way he communicated with the players. The players that were stood on the sideline, made a point of speaking to them and obviously giving them direction as they were coming on and hugging. So it's quite clear in terms of the leadership. He's quite high up the pecking order. And he's settled into that role really, really well. I've got a lot of love for DCL.
Yeah, I've noticed that he talks a lot, and you can see him encouraging players, and Brendy as well. I noticed he's really close to him. And there was times, Brendy might have tailed off, but there was a spell right either side of Christmas where he was on fire. That game in Newcastle. So there's not a player I think that's bombed this year. I think they've all done well. Perry's had a rough time, but in the cup he's been brilliant. So I'm probably Gabby, BL, Stack. I haven't decided. This
is a fantastic position to be in, because every other year you can pretty much go, has to be him. There's no one else on that level, and you just or the years that they cancel the Player of the Year awards completely.
James Justin, Bogle, James Justin, croc that he was, wasting money. Leicester, seeing us coming,
finished, washed. Wow. Yeah.
What a signing. Is there an award for our medical team, by the way? Because Jesus Christ, they deserve an award.
£250,000 investment, best money Leeds ever spent.
Calvert-Lewin, Nemecha. Nemecha's got 6-7 goals. Just
Joe Rodon. They just keep getting Joe Rodon back on the pitch weeks ahead of schedule when he isn't.
It used to be weeks meant months. Yeah. So it's difficult decision to make, but it's good. It'll be close, because I think that shows a good season. Yeah,
I agree. I agree. All right then, folks. I think we'll wrap it up there. Massive thanks as always for supporting the channel. You can check out Paul over at the Leeds Therapy. You can check Gerry at Talking Leeds podcast as well. Details for both of them are down below in the description. You can check them out on X, myself as well. All of our handles are down below here on the screen for those watching it. And again, just check out okjersey.com for 8% off World Cup shirts for World Cup summer using the code TView in your basket. And yeah, that'll be it for this week. And we might have a little bonus out over the weekend. Keep an eye out for that. But we'll have to watch along on Monday night over on bigup.com. Podcast will be out on Tuesday instead of Monday next week because of the game. And then we'll get back to a normal rhythm of things. So leave it at that, folks. Thanks very much for joining us as per usual. I'll talk to you soon. Enjoy your evening. See you. Bye. Good night.